There's no fertile soil at the mountaintop. The soil is most fertile when you're down in the valley, and that's where you grow. But here's the thing. Do you believe that? Because when you're down in the valley, it's hard to see the other side of it. It's hard to see the sun that's coming up. It's hard to see the horizon. It's hard to get through it. Welcome to Finding Hope in a Suffering Society. I'm Rob,
I'm Josh,
and we're here to help you find the beauty.
in the darkness.
And if you found that light out of the darkness,
Please show your glow to the rest of the world.
so again, let's talk about this being down in the valley. A quick story. When I came out of my pit here 3 years ago, I had a friend of mine share that line with me. Again, there was no fertile soil on the mountaintop. The soil is most fertile when you're down in the valley. I was like, man, I never heard that before, and I really grasped onto that. That was like a morning, like it was like, let's say it was February 10th. I'm pulling the date out, but it was sometime in February. The next afternoon, I go talk to my boss, and he had asked me because he knew what I went through, and he's like, "Hey, Rob, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Doing okay." He's like, "You know what? Don't rush out of this." You know what he said? There's no fertile soil on the mountaintop. The soil is most fertile when you're down in the valley, and that's where you grow. I heard that 4 hours later from a different guy. I'd never heard it before. I thought that was God talking to me. What are your thoughts around that line?
I like it because it's true. I mean, look at a mountaintop. There's nothing growing. There's nothing up there. It's the valley that's the most fertile. And I think that's absolute truth is we grow the most when we're in the darkest place and in the bottoms. It's not the darkest place, but it's the bottoms.
Can be the darkest place.
It's not because you can't grow without sunlight. So that's the thing is then why does the mountaintop not grow?
Because you're too high.
No oxygen.
No oxygen.
There's really no soil.
Right.
It's rocks. So
Yep.
how do you grow when you've become rock hard?
You don't.
I mean, if you think of it in that aspect, I mean, the mountain grows only because plates push it up. But I mean, again, you're not growing. You're not changing. You're not evolving. And that's the thing. A seed is planted, and when that seed grows and evolves, it grows into something big and beautiful.
But most people don't have that perspective when they're down in the valley of their life, right?
Yeah, I actually had a friend that I was just talking to the other day, and it was, I'm going through this, that, and the other thing, and blah blah blah, and I looked and I was like, you can change your perspective. You really can. You're sitting here wasting time and energy because things aren't going the way you wanted them to go or the way you expect them to go. But the things that you're expecting to go that way are things that are out of your control. If it's not within your control, why are you going to stress over it? If you can't do anything about it, why are you going to let it negatively affect your mood? Change it.
Well, and again, I think it's easier said than done. Like when you're in that mindset, and
It is, but I agree with you. It is. It's easier said than done. But if you change that mindset, if you learn to change that mindset, instead of looking at things that happen to you as something dark and gloomy, why not look at it as something as, well, all right, I was supposed to get paid today, and my check didn't come today. Well, God's got another plan. Or I'm broke. What do I do? Why? You can't control it, right?
Yeah, to some degree you can. To some degree you can't. I mean, if you say you're broke, you can go and get a job.
Someone living paycheck to paycheck. How many single moms are out there killing it? Living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
They miss one paycheck, things go upside down real quick, right? But is it something that they have control over? Not necessarily.
Right.
So why allow that to dictate your life? That pit of despair you were in. Why allow that to dictate your life?
Well, again, it's easier said than done to kind of pull out of that despair. But I wish I would have been asking that sooner than later. But again, there's another side of being in the valley, because when you come out of the valley and you have grown, there is so much more of a reward on the other side of it, right? I mean, maybe you can share a little bit about. I mean, you were down in the valley for many years.
I think I'm still in the valley. That's the thing.
Like, expand on that. That's interesting.
Where do you think you're at? Do you think you're on the mountaintop?
Well, I used to say that I was in the pit. No, I'm definitely not on the mountaintop. For sure, no. I don't know. I don't know
Aren't
if
you still growing and changing?
I'm not really sure I want to be there anymore.
Aren't you still growing and changing?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think when you're growing and changing, that's part of the journey of moving through the valley.
Hmm.
I think you start on one end of the valley and you make your way through the valley. Eventually, you make your way to that mountaintop because you've attained it.
Hmm.
That's growth.
Well, you know, and it's interesting. I'll just share one quick story because I know that you've been clean now 11 plus years from alcohol. And one of the things that I had the mindset of before I went through my trial was everything that in my life was revolved around alcohol, and it was like, you know, I wonder if I could like drive up to this distillery and have this many drinks and still drive home, or you know, I want to have people over on, well, what night of the week? Because if I have like 3 or 4 drinks, what would be the best night for me to actually have people over so I could drink and still produce at work? And by the way, I'm gonna have a fire night with my buddies, and I'm gonna make sure that when I come back in, I'm gonna have my cheeseburger ready because I'm gonna have 7 or 8 shots of vodka. And the next morning, I'm gonna have my cacao and my beet juice and grass-fed butter, so my brain works better. You know what I mean? Everything in my mindset, I didn't realize it revolved around alcohol, and I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, okay, I've cut down drinking drastically. Like I went to a wedding here a week ago. I had 2 drinks at the wedding, 2.
Perfect.
But now I'm to the point where I'm like, well, if I had 2, why can't I just go without having any? So to your point about the growing piece, I'm like, I'm thinking about like just giving up alcohol right
So,
now.
and
I
something I
mean,
want to make clear to you guys because we talk about my alcoholism. Rob's not an alcoholic. He's not. He's not someone who drinks to the point of getting drunk and he doesn't make it a daily habit. He doesn't binge drink. It's not that type of thing. And just to see that growth in someone, okay, what is your reasoning for not having alcohol then?
because I want to grow more. I think it's stopping me from actually being the best person that I could possibly be. Because I had 2 drinks this week, and I was on a Sunday. I had 2 drinks. The next morning I woke up and I felt terrible. But I had 2 drinks over a 6-hour period. You know, so I was like, why do I want to feel that way and not be my best just because just to have 2 drinks of alcohol? I mean,
But
I've gotten older. Your body doesn't process alcohol as well, anyways. I'm feeling that now, but I look back and I'm like, man, there's so many days that were quote unquote wasted, and not, and I was wasted when I was drinking, but the next day was wasted.
yeah, because you're recovering from what you did the day before.
Exactly. So you're going back to your question of, do you think you're still in the valley? Well, yeah, I kind of want to be there because I still kind of want to grow,
See,
right?
and that's
So
my point to you, where
yeah.
you're asking me to expand on it. Look,
Yeah,
you know, in our previous video, we were talking about how do you get people to come out of their shell and talk. It's ask questions. That's all we did.
that's right.
You were looking at me for the answer, but you had the answer the whole time. You just had to be asked the question to
True,
get to it.
true. So maybe being in the valley isn't such a bad place to be, right? And again, you said it before. It's about changing your perspective of what might come out of the experience that you're currently having. And you know, do we think that God put you there? I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, God loves us, and sometimes He does discipline us.
There is this thing called free will. You need to remember that.
Yeah,
Never forget that there is your free will. You've maybe made choices along the way and took back your own will, and it wasn't His choices for you. So because you took your free will back, there's going to be a consequence for that.
So what's your thought about free will? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It can be both. It can be one or the other. It can be both.
Would you rather be a robot?
No.
Okay. I think it's one of the most beautiful things that God gave us. I think it's one of His greatest gifts of love is to allow us to decide.
Yep. Because you learn. You know, we talk about how you never fail as long as you continue to learn. You're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are real. That's called the human condition. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes as humans.
Sounds like a good video to do.
It does.
We already did.
Oh, wait. Yep, we did that. My bad. Forgot. But it's that thing that if you just keep changing your perspective, keep looking at it from a different viewpoint, it's not always bad.
Well, and you know what? I think there's a lot of good being down in the valley, even though it's hard to see when you're there. I had a discussion with my mom here recently, who, you know, she lost my dad a year ago. A year ago Saturday, I went down for a service, and she actually shared some things that she had shared in front of one of her ministries that she's involved with, and it was really cool to see her growth. And the one word that really kind of came out and talking with her was surrender, surrendering to God and His plan. And And she actually got this from a Catholic priest and putting everything that she had been through under God's dominion. Pretty cool, huh?
I agree
Yeah.
wholeheartedly.
Thanks, Mom.
It's once you surrender and realize that it's not me. I can't do this on my own. My way got me where I was.
And maybe right now you're down in the valley, you're not calling on God for support and guidance. But I was there again when I was actually in my biggest struggle in my life. I pushed away my faith, my friends, and my family. I mentioned that before,
But even then, you
and
were asking God for help. But why weren't you hearing it?
I wasn't really asking. I was not asking. I really wasn't. I was real focused on me, 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 me. I can't believe, blah, and I wasn't asking God for help. You know, yeah.
And that's where we get in trouble.
And here's the crazy thing, and I think I mentioned too that my issue was a financial one, and I won't go into details as to kind of what happened, but it was a pretty big number. And but here's the thing, a true story. I grabbed the Bible 3 different times when I was laying upstairs. Like I was going to bed at like 9 o'clock at night, lights out, because I just didn't want to be present. And I grabbed the Bible 3 times, and my Bible's about this thick. And every time I grabbed it, there wasn't marked or anything like that. And here's the verse that I came to. They don't. We don't. Right? So
Nope.
I just wanted to share that, that verse that came up because I thought that was kind of crazy. I've not forgotten that.
I know you haven't, and that's weird to me because I couldn't remember that. I
Yeah.
struggle remembering my life verse. That's why I have it saved on my phone.
Yeah, and again, it was like that. The
And it's
Bible
one
was,
I read weekly.
but again, that Bible was 1,400 pages long. How did I come back to that verse 3 times? And I just randomly grabbed it to see what God had to say to me. So
Coincidence.
yeah, coincidence.
Coincidences are real. They happen all the time.
All right, 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably 1 in 10 chance I could probably do that again. 1 in 5 maybe.
No, no. I bet you it's like 1 in 3. I mean, come on.
Those are crazy odds, right? That I actually pulled that up 3 times. But God was talking to me during that time to say, you know what? What are you worried about? As long as you have me and you have the Bible, Bible, basic information before leaving Earth, right? I
Yep.
mean, it's right there for us, especially when we're at our lowest. And sometimes people go to their Bible when they're at their lowest. Sometimes they go to when they're at their highest. I know that when I was there, I wasn't going to the Bible. What about you?
No, I still don't even really go to the Bible. I'm
See,
not
that's a
gonna
real
lie.
comment there.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you
I gotta be honest.
you get it different ways though.
I do 100%. I
Yeah.
absolutely do. And I'm just saying, like for me, reading is not my way of getting things. It's just not. It's not how I retain things. It's not how I hold on to things. It's just not how my brain works.
So drop a comment. I mean, how do you get your godly daily devotional? Is it through listening? Is it through maybe listening to a pastor every day? Is it through Christian music? Is it fellowship
A
with
lot of
somebody
it for me is
else?
fellowship and Christian music. That is. That's how I get it. We listen to Christian music in the mornings at work, pretty much every
Yep.
day.
There's so many different ways that God can talk to us, right?
Agreed, wholeheartedly. And you need to remember your relationship with God is between you and God. You know, that's the thing that bothers me, that people are always harping on people about how they should be better Christians. And you know what? At the end of the day, your relationship with God is between you and Him. Don't allow others to dictate your relationship with Him and how you do it.
It's personal.
It is. It is a personal relationship with Him. And you need to remember that you don't allow outside factors to dictate that for you.
And I think that's exciting too if you think about it. If you have a one-on-one personal relationship with God, I know some of you out there don't believe that. We're here to tell you it's real.
I have one. I love it.
It is 100% real.
It is. It's just, again, it helps with that whole mindset. It is. It's a mindset. It's a faith-based. I think the thing that a lot of people have a problem with is just faith in general. Not just that. It's the fact of having faith in something you can't see.
Well, that's
And
biblical
being in that
too.
valley, that's absolutely what you have to do. You're surrounded by the mountains. You don't know what's on the other side. So if you don't have that faith in that valley, you're going to get lost. You
That's
need to
right.
find yourself a shepherd because you're a sheep.
So, would you have any recommendations for people that are struggling with their faith as where they might want to start? That's one thing they could do to start.
Daily prayer in the morning. Something helped me in the beginning was just getting up in the morning, and like I said, I make a gratitude list in my head, thank the good Lord for some things, and then I get on my knees and I actually say a prayer out loud. That helps.
You know what I did the
Sometimes
other day
saying
too?
it out loud helps too.
Well, you know what? I had a friend say the same thing about a friend Dave of ours who we both know, Dave H. I mean, he said the same thing.
He's the one who told me it and taught me it.
Yeah, there you go. He said when you pray out loud, you can't get distracted.
Yep.
You know, your mind doesn't drift, right? So I heard the same thing from him too. I'm glad we picked up the same tip.
Yep.
But the other thing I'd say too is even just trying to sit there and listen to what God might have to say to you. And you'd be amazed at the peace that comes over you when you do that at times. I did that the other morning. I was having a kind of rough start to the day, and I sat there. I was like, oh, this is what peace feels like. That's some pretty good info coming from the Lord above, and it was very calming. I can just tell you that.
Was your stress the new puppy? Was he
Yeah,
stressing you out?
I got a new puppy, so part of it was the fact that I haven't been able to do that because we have a new puppy in the house. So yes,
And mind
that
you,
is
his
part of
new
it.
puppy is the most adorable little thing. It's like this big. And
We'll
it's
get
only
him.
going to be this big.
We'll
He's
get
a
him on here
riot.
soon, but yeah, but it was nice to just get back in my rhythm.
And that's what I was going to say. That
Yeah.
puppy threw a wrench in your rhythm. And when your rhythm gets thrown off, sometimes that adjustment period is stressful because you're so used to your routine.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to take time for yourself to get reacclimated when a stressor comes in your life, good or bad, and because it can throw you off, you know. So getting back to being in the valley, any final comments, Josh, about being there, being on the mountaintop, fertile soil?
Just be happy to be in the valley. Start being happy at where you're at in life. Because if you start being happy where you're at, that's how you start growing more.
Man, it's so well said and so hard to do.
It is. It is. And I talk, I still have a lot of friends who ask me how I stay happy all the time. The other day, the other day at work, my generator crapped out. I took it in to get it repaired. Found out it's going to be at least a month, so I had to go spend another $2,000 on another generator. And one of my buddies is like, "How are you not freaking out?" And I go, "What's freaking out going to do?" He goes, "Dude, I'd be livid." And I go, "About what? What's to be mad about? The money? It's just money. I'll make more tomorrow. I'm not going to stress over it. I'm grateful I have the money to buy a new generator. That's it.
Yeah.
The rest of it I can't control. So why am I going to let it negatively affect the rest of my day? I'm going to go, well, looks like I'm buying a new toy today. Woohoo! And it's, again, being in that valley and being okay with the place I'm at, I seem to grow a lot more.
I didn't really expect you to say that you were still in the valley, but you know what? I think that in some way, shape, or form, which is why we're actually putting out this content, is that in some way, shape, or form, everybody's in the valley in one part of their life.
That's what I'm saying. But it
And-
doesn't
and
matter.
It's okay.
It doesn't matter if you're at the start of the valley or the end of the valley. You're moving, you're progressing, you're growing. The valley's big. There's a reason it's big.
So again, I'll quote the line that my boss said to me: "Don't rush out of the valley. There are great things to happen to you potentially if you stay in it, because that is where the soil is most fertile." Again, I'm Rob.
I'm Josh.
This has been Finding Hope in a Suffering Society. And yes, I was having a hard time saying valley today, which is why Josh is laughing.
Sorry, guys. Took us like 5 takes to get this, so maybe 6.
And again, we're here to help you find the beauty.
In the darkness.
And if you found that light out of the darkness,
Please go show your glow to the world. We'd love to see you.
we'll catch you in the next video.
See you guys.